Welcome. Today I'm going to show you a new technology that utilizes the ubiquity of the depth sensors. And what I'm going to show you is an exciting new technology that is a printed keyboard that gives you something that you're going to want to have and be able to have. But before I get into the benefits of it, let me show you the keyboard. Basically, I've got a simplified version of here so we don't get lost in the details. But the most important thing that you're going to notice here is this mangled looking chessboard at the top of it. Now this is going to be easily recognizable to those that work in the augmented reality field. And what this mangled little chessboard does is it allows my video camera to figure out where it is and its position based on what it looks like in the video stream. Once I've figured out where this little marker is, I then know where all the keys are. You might then say, okay, easy, let's go and use the keyboard. But unfortunately, using the depth sensor and standard software to track fingers, the normal software won't know if I'm holding my fingers on the keyboard like this, where the keyboard starts and my fingers stop. So what do? I use the magic of this marker again to tell the software to make the piece of paper disappear. Once the piece of paper is gone, you can go back to typing on the keyboard as easy as ABC. And today, what I thought I'd do is I'd pay homage to the first thing any programmer ever does, and that's write "Hello World" to the screen. So let's have a look at this on my laptop as I use it now. Okay, so what I'm going to demonstrate to you now is actually using the keyboard on my laptop. So there will be three screens you can see on my laptop here that will demonstrate the output of the keyboard. You'll be able to see where my fingers are and interacting with the keyboard. And basically you'll be able to see everything happening at the same time. So if you look at the top right screen, you'll have the console output that shows when each of the keys is pressed. Below that you can see the depth stream where the actual keyboard is now a big black area because it's been removed from the depth stream by the marker. And in the left you can actually see my fingers interacting with the keyboard. So if we actually type in the phrase that we want to type in, hello world, so basically that's the demo of the keyboard that I wanted to show you today. And you can see the technology like this is going to usher in a new era of natural user interfaces that everyone's going to be able to get in on. The keyboard is massively customizable and it has many applications. If we simply return to the Microsoft Connect and look at the different scenarios where it can be used there are lots of different games with musical aspects that are going to be a lot of fun with this. You can imagine printing out each of the different items of a drum kit and spreading them out in a room and then playing the drum that you can actually see instead of having to look at the TV screen and figure out what's going on. If we return back to the initial scenario of having a printable keyboard and we look at gamers, then you can see this is going to make a big difference. Instead of having your fingers bunched together on one area of the keyboard, you can now take your printable keyboard and put the keys wherever you want. You can make it comfortable so they're spread out wherever you like. And also, if you want to, you can put your own little pictures on there to remind you of what each one does. Now you might say, that's not a big deal, that's not going to make a big difference to my game playing because I don't look at the keys anyway. But if we think about the way that this is easily customizable, for first-person shooter games, for example, you can make the key swap weapons and shoot at the same time. And things like that are going to give you the edge over your competition when you're playing a game. You might ask me, why did I bother to put this together? What was the advantage for me? Well, initially, I used to have a problem of having to send emails all around the world to different people. Now, the problem you have with a standard laptop like this is you have a fixed keyboard. And unfortunately, if I want to send an email here in Sweden, I would like to have the Swedish keys. And if I want to send an email to Australia, I'd like to have the Australian keys. To solve that problem, we've got our printable keyboard. And how it solves it is by having a different marker for each of the different languages. So if you want to have your Swedish keyboard, you just take your Swedish keyboard. If you want to have your Australian keyboard, you just take your Australian keyboard and use it. The software detects which one you're using and the technology disappears into the background. We know that our smartphones and tablets they have a problem displaying the virtual keypads on them because they take up so much screen space. What about if you could just pull your keyboard out of your pocket, unfold it and use it? No batteries, no wires, no setup. But I think the technology will get even bigger when it's combined with simple mouse gestures. So in the past, if you had your keyboard and you were working with it, it was probably difficult to tell when you wanted to use the mouse and when you wanted to use the keyboard because it was tracking your fingers the whole time. With this, you've got a beautiful natural user interface where, because I know where the keyboard is based on this marker, I know that if my hand's on top of it, I'm using the keyboard. As soon as I raise my hand, it's now become a mouse, and I can easily transition between the two without anything done by the user. So that's all I thought I'd show you today. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope it inspires you to take this natural user interface technology to the next level. Thanks for watching.